Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's Atlantic Basin Tropical Update. So in this update, I'm mainly going to be focusing on Tropical Depression 9 and Tropical Storm Franklin. So Tropical Depression 9 formed earlier today in the central Gulf of Mexico, and as of 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Monday, August the 21st, Tropical Depression 9 has maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, a minimum central pressure of 1,008 millibars, and westerly movement at 18 miles per hour. And then looking at Tropical Storm Franklin, as of 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Monday, August the 21st, Tropical Storm Franklin has 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds, a minimum central pressure of 1,002 millibars, and movement is nearly stationary. So looking at the Zoom Earth satellite imagery for Tropical Storm Franklin, Tropical Storm Franklin is a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm as of 7:10 p.m. Central American Time this evening. And going into 1 a.m. Central American Time tonight, Franklin is going to only crawl to the west with a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. By Tuesday, 1 p.m. Central American Time, a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm curving to the north. And then by Wednesday, 1 a.m. Central Time, a 65-mile-per-hour tropical storm approaching the Dominican Republic from the south. And then as we go into Wednesday, 1 p.m. Central American Time, a 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving over the western Dominican Republic. By Thursday, 1 a.m. Central American Time, 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm near the Turks and Caicos Islands. By Thursday, 1 p.m. Central American Time, 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving to the northeast. By Friday, 1 p.m. Central American Time, a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving to the northeast. And then Franklin is expected to become a hurricane by Saturday afternoon as an 80-mile-per-hour Category 1 hurricane curving to the north-northeast. Now looking at newly formed Tropical Depression 9, this is going to impact central and southern Texas and northeastern Mexico. As of 7:10 p.m. Central American Time, we're looking at a 35-mile-per-hour tropical depression in the west central Gulf of Mexico. And then as we go into the overnight around 1 a.m. tonight, a 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm nearing the Texas coast. And then by 1 p.m. tomorrow, a 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm between Laredo and Brownsville, Texas. And then by Wednesday, 1 a.m., we're going to see Tropical Depression 9 dissipate over the mountains of northeastern Mexico. So we have tropical storm watches in effect for Matagorda Bay and tropical storm warnings in effect from Matagorda Bay all the way down through Corpus Christi and Brownsville. And then looking at Franklin, I forgot to mention, tropical storm warnings are in effect across southern Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and tropical storm watches in the eastern and northern Dominican Republic and even the eastern Turks and Caicos Islands. Make sure you're preparing for tropical storm conditions if you live in these areas. So looking at the models, looking at the 18Z run of the GFS model, the 18Z run GFS strengthens Tropical Depression 9 to a tropical storm tonight approaching South Texas, and we see a landfall in the GFS as potentially a strong tropical storm by early tomorrow morning around Brownsville, Texas, and we see torrential rains across areas like Victoria, Corpus Christi, down through Brownsville by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning Central Time. By 9 to 10 a.m., we're looking at torrential rains anywhere from San Antonio down to Corpus Christi, Laredo, and then towards McAllen and Brownsville. And going into around noon, and then in the afternoon, we're going to see this tropical storm move into northern Mexico, bringing torrential rains in areas like Eagle Pass through Laredo and into northeastern Mexico. And then going into 7 and 10 o'clock, we're going to see our Gulf system, our tropical storm, dissipate over the mountains of northeastern Mexico. Looking at the European model for Tropical Depression 9, Tropical Depression 9 is expected to remain a weak tropical storm in the Euro, bringing heavy rain to South Texas through Tuesday morning, and then we see a landfall around 9-10 a.m., torrential rains across South Texas, through Tuesday afternoon, torrential rains into Mexico Tuesday evening, and then we see the tropical storm dissipate going into early Wednesday morning. And then looking at the Canadian model also shows a weak tropical storm moving into Brownsville around 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then as we go into 10 a.m. into noon, we're going to see heavy rain across southern Texas from this tropical storm, and then extremely heavy rain as this tropical storm interacts with the mountainous terrain of northeastern Mexico by tomorrow evening. And then the Canadian also dissipates this tropical storm as we go into early Wednesday morning. So, briefly looking at some rainfall totals, there's going to be some healthy rainfall totals across South Texas. So, looking at the GFS, anywhere from Corpus Christi, we could see as much as an inch of rain, and then from just south of Corpus Christi down towards the Rio Grande border and the valley, anywhere from about 2 to 5 inches of rain. So very good news for the drought situation across South Texas. Looking at the European model for rainfall accumulations across South Texas, we're looking at anywhere between an inch in South Central Texas to as much as 2 to 5 inches in the valley in the European model. Also very healthy rainfall totals. And then the Canadian model is also putting about 1 to 2 inches in deep South Texas, but northeastern Mexico, as this tropical storm moves against the mountains, could see orographic lifting, and we could see as much as 6 to 10 inches of rain. So make sure you're really preparing for flooding, especially across anywhere from Laredo and down towards McAllen westward into the Sierra Oriental Mountains. So thanks for watching this evening's tropical update. Please prepare for tropical storm impacts tomorrow across southern Texas, and I'll be doing more in-depth updates on Franklin as the days progress. Please stay safe and have a wonderful evening, my friends.